What's up? This is EasyOS 10, and this is the Verizon 16GB iPhone 4S. I want to give you my final thoughts on this. Is it worth buying? Is it worth upgrading? Well, enough asking the questions. How about we just get into answers? First of all, let's look at hardware. The phone has the new A5 dual-core processor. That's the same processor that's running in the iPad 2. On the back, you have an 8-megapixel camera, and that's about 3 megapixels higher than the current iPhone 4, which is running a 5 megapixel camera. And the only other difference hardware-wise is the new antenna design, which um, allows you to basically get 4G speeds, even though the 4S is not a 4G phone. One part of the antenna is strictly for receiving data, the other part is for sending data. And I have to say, it's pretty responsive. Oh, one other hardware thing is, even though this is a Verizon phone, you notice it has a SIM card slot on it. The iPhone is now officially a world phone. It can switch between CDMA, which is primarily a North American standard, what Verizon and Sprint use, and it can switch to GSM as well, which is pretty much the world standard and what AT&T T-Mobile use. But enough about hardware. Let's get down into software. A lot of this stuff is iOS 5. I'm going to go over the camera though in just a second as well. But I'll talk about Notification Center, the speed of Safari. I'll also talk about iMessage, the iCloud integration. I'll go into a little bit. Wake up. And Siri, which is the big iPhone 4S feature. First of all, the new Notification Center, you just grab the top bar and bring it straight down, just like Android if you've ever used an Android phone. Um, yeah, like I said, definitely. Oh, come back here. I'm trying to look through my camera screen and do this. So, uh, I have to say, even though it is Android-ish, I did like that about Android, and it's a little bit better just because of the fact you can customize widgets on the notification center. Like I can switch weather, I can get stocks if I wanted to, and you can change if you want certain notifications to pop up. For example, if I don't want Twitter to pop up, I can set that. So next, let's get into let's go to Safari actually. Don't know how Store News got activated, but I'll close that. Uh, as you saw, I pretty much closed out. Oh no, tap. There we go. I have no apps running, so I'm going to go into Safari, and I'm going to load up. Nope. Going to load up the desktop version of my site, easyos10.wordpress.com. Go to that. This is just strictly on Wi-Fi. Give this a second. Let's see how fast that loads. Okay, so I had a little bit fast yesterday. But my Wi-Fi may have been acting up a little bit today, but relatively fast as you saw. And while I'm here, I'll just show it very responsive. Pinching and zooming. This is the desktop version of my site. Overall, loaded pretty fast. If I switch to 3G real quick, just to 3G only, I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi. That sounds. Let's go to general network. All right, going on just cellular data now on Verizon's 3G network. I have as you can see, 5 bars up there. Sorry if the camera you can't see very well. Trying to get the best lighting I could. Let's go back to Safari real quick and close that and go right back to it from a new window. And here it goes. And so a little bit faster actually on 3G than Wi-Fi. I'm kind of impressed. Most of my tests have shown Wi-Fi faster than 3G. I'm not complaining though. Again, desktop version of my site pulled up very well. And again, still just as responsive. Okay, the camera function, let's go to that. Not a whole lot has changed from the camera. Like I said, I'll show you some video right here. It's 8 megapixel now, can shoot 1080p video. So the only thing you may notice is now you can actually take pictures from the lock screen by just double tapping on the home button when you're in the lock screen, and you can activate the camera. Just take pictures that way. So kudos to Apple for doing that. Let's see. Let's go into iMessage now. iMessage is integrated within the text messaging app. iMessage is now kind of like BlackBerry Messenger if you've ever used that. And what that does is anyone running iOS 5 on an iPad 2, an iPod Touch, an iPhone, whatever, you'll be able to text them just through Apple's own network for free. So the way you can tell that, it just happens automatically. For example, here I have my dad. You'll see that my text messages to him are now blue rather than green if it was just to a someone who's not using iOS 5, as my friend Ian here. By the way, customrenegade.wordpress.com for his website. Let's see, Notification Center, Safari, camera, went over a little bit with that. Let's get into Siri. Siri is the big feature. This is a 4S exclusive feature at the moment. All you have to do, if you want to, it's the voice assistant. I'm just going to can't talk. Just going to hold down the home button. Schedule a meeting for tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Who schedules a meeting for tomorrow morning at 8 p.m.? Alright, yeah, so it brought up a meeting anyway.
For me to schedule it?
Cancel.
Okay then, I will create a meeting.
Cool. And so that's Siri. It even understood what I meant, even though I said tomorrow morning, but at 8 p.m. Sorry if the camera's kind of flipping out on us. So I'm going to try something else with Siri. Just wanted to show another feature of Siri real quick. You can play with it a little bit. You can mix it up. You can also send text messages. I've noticed the longer message you have with Siri, the more it tends to mess up. So let's say I'm sending a text message. Text Ian, I'm going to be late to the party. Sorry about that. I'm going to grab a pizza on the way. Laters.
Here's your message to Ian Hutchison.
And it says I'm going to be late. Lee Party. It says I'm going to be late to Lee Party. Sorry about that. I'm going to grab pizza on the no.
I don't see Lee buried in your contacts. Perhaps you meant one of these? David Stanton, Astley, Lindsay Lee.
Yeah, so no, stop it. So it it likes to listen to everything you say, but you can have some fun with Siri. What is the best tablet computer to buy?
The Apple iPad. Need you ask?
So yeah, typical Apple product. Yeah, the one thing about Siri, it's not all stored within the phone. You need to have internet access, whether it's via Wi-Fi or 3G. So Siri, really nice, really pretty feature. Definitely an improvement of the voice functionality of the iPhone. But let's get down to the big question. Should you buy the iPhone 4S, and should you upgrade if you already have an iPhone? Well, here's what I say about, first of all, buying. If you've never had an iPhone before, then I'd say yes, go ahead and get this. If you're willing to make the jump to Apple's environment, it's really, really nice. Oh, I didn't even talk about iCloud. I'll get to that in a second. I'd say definitely go ahead, get this phone if you're thinking about it. It's totally worth it. Should you upgrade if you already have an iPhone? If you have a 3GS or earlier iPhone, this is worth buying, especially if you were thinking about switching to a different carrier, since now it's offered on Verizon, AT&T, and Sprint in America. So, in that case, if you have an iPhone 4, considering you can get everything but about Siri and the camera in the iOS 5 update, really, I'd say the upgrade is not necessarily worth it unless you are really needing Siri or you want the better camera. So maybe some photography people out there. Lastly, I'll talk about iPad just a little, not iPad, iCloud a little bit. iCloud is integrated within iOS 5. If you want to access some of those features, you can go into the settings and go mess around in iCloud. I won't go over this too much. I did a whole thing about what iCloud does on my blog. I'll put a link to that in the description. But you can set mail, contacts, calendars, even Safari bookmarks. You can even back up your iPhone just like you do when you hook it up to the computer and sync to iTunes, just like you would just through iCloud. Documents and data, you will need iWork both on the phone and on your Mac. That's kind of a Mac-specific feature. So that's one limitation. Otherwise, it's all a free service. You get 5 gigabytes for free. Music and photos do not count against that. And you can always pay for more. Turning them off, on, just a flip of the switch. So, anyway, that is the iOS 5 and the iPhone 4S. Went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's basically it. I'd say it's worth the buy and worth the upgrade. Unless you're an iPhone 4 person, then it's up to you. This has been EasyOS 10, and thank you for watching my videos.